Over the last few weeks, the narrative that the Eagles want to pursue a free agent running back has only increased. From names like Carlos Hyde to LeSean McCoy and Devonta Freeman, there have been no shortage of articles and reports linking the Eagles to these veteran running backs, and it's even something we've broached on this channel where we dove into available free agents such as Isaiah Crowell and Bilal Powell, who would also fit that same mold. But upon further inspection, there's one player I think the Eagles could go out and acquire, and it's not a free agent. It's in fact a trade. So buckle up, strap your seatbelts in, and welcome to another Sunday Fun Day! As always though guys, if you are new to this channel or you haven't yet hit that subscribe button, doing so would mean the absolute world to us, and it's the easiest way to show support for the work that we're putting in over here at Philly Sports Network. We're so close to 20,000 subscribers and we would love to hold a super big meetup as soon as it's physically safe to do so, whether it be a tailgate or something like that somewhere down the line, and we'd love you to be a part of it. And as always, if you're not checking phillysportsnetwork.com to get your daily fix of Philadelphia sports coverage, it'd be great if you could do so. It's the place where you can find coverage from myself and all of our writers at Philly Sports Network. There's something for everyone, and who knows, you may just find your new home for Philly sports content, and that's exactly what we want to be. Why would the Eagles opt to trade for a player as to signing a veteran free agent? Well, for me, this comes down to one thing and one thing only. I'm of course referring to that sweet dollar bill. It's something that has very much defined how Howie Roseman builds his team, and an interesting snippet from Adam Kaplan recently revealed that the Eagles don't want to spend much more than a veteran's minimum when it comes to the running back position. Now, they lost the Carlos Hyde sweepstakes. He signed a deal worth $4 million, and that is substantially higher than around the $760,000 he would have gotten on a veteran's minimum. So even though the Eagles are in these conversations, they may not be in them as seriously as it takes to actually get one of those players. Would LeSean McCoy take a hometown discount? Potentially, but does he fit the role of what's needed from the back the Eagles are trying to sign? What is that type of running back? Well, just look at Jordan Howard. Let's not forget the Eagles traded for Howard using a conditional pick 1 year ago. He was 24 at the time. Jay Ajayi filled a very similar role. LeGarrette Blount filled a very similar role. What the Eagles are looking for here is a north-south runner, I believe at least. Someone to get between the tackles, stick their foot in the dirt, and dive forward in short yardage situations. Miles Sanders is undoubtedly the star of the show. No one, myself included, is advocating someone come in and challenge him for a roster spot, because it just won't happen. But as of right now, you've only got Miles Sanders, Boston Scott, Corey Clement, and a bunch of undrafted free agents on the roster. That's okay, but it lacks a certain amount of power. It lacks a certain amount of oomph and a punch, and that's what they're looking for here. Could LeSean McCoy provide it? I don't know. Could someone like Devonta Freeman provide it? Absolutely, but not quite at the price point in which they envision paying for a running back. But there's one more option that's worth exploring at least. When the Denver Broncos signed former Chargers running back Melvin Gordon, Philip Lindsay was understandably frustrated, according to numerous reports. The one man who should have really been annoyed though was 24-year-old Royce Freeman, who after just 2 years in the NFL is already falling out of favour with the team. The Broncos clearly had a change of heart. Pat Sherman doesn't work his backfield in the same way the old offensive coordinator once did. That bit's important, and we'll touch on that a little bit later. But even last year, when the old offensive coordinator was in town, the team's RB3, who at that time was Devontae Booker, had 2 carries for 9 yards all year long. That's that, really. None of this exactly projects well for Royce Freeman, who at 6 foot, 238 pounds, missed 2 games as a rookie and then none in 2019, but his snap count dipped from 33% to 32%, and his production kind of followed suit in most areas. His 521-yard rookie season, where he averaged 4 yards per carry and scored 5 times, was followed by a campaign where he rushed the ball on 2 more occasions, but had 25 less yards and 2 less touchdowns. However, the one area he did improve was receiving. Freeman has never been a devout pass-catching option, much like Jordan Howard wasn't, but his receptions spiked from 14 to 43 last year, at least showing some signs of improvement. The other thing is just look at how similarly he's built to those guys, to Jay Ajayi, to LeGarrette Blount, to Jordan Howard. It's actually a little bit scary. That is the perfect mold for the type of running back the Eagles want. A decisive runner who puts his foot in the ground, can get up north and go through a very, very stern, very strong offensive line when Miles Sanders needs a break or it's a short yardage situation. Now, he may not be as explosive as Jordan Howard was, but he's kind of in a similar spot. A breakout from Philip Lindsay pushed him to the back of the queue, and now a premier running back has cut ahead of him. Freeman should be available relatively cheaply, has 2 years left on his deal. That contract will see Freeman carry a cap hit of $1 million in 2020 and $1.2 million in 2021, which is about as cheap as you could possibly ask for, and the next closest thing to a veteran's minimum deal. And there is a bit of a wild card here. The wild card is, of course, that Rich Scangarello was his offensive coordinator in 2019. Now, Scangarello joined the Eagles this offseason as their senior offensive assistant, and if he liked Freeman, if he liked what he saw from the former Oregon running back, then why not take a flyer? As someone that helped facilitate the growth of his versatility from 14 receptions to 43 in the space of a year, hand him over to Juice Staley and let Juice, the man who helped Miles Sanders absolutely flourish as a rookie, the man who helped Corey Clement as an undrafted free agent, who facilitated the growth of Jordan Howard to have his best yards per carry since 2017 before the injury, do some work with Royce Freeman, and over the space of a 2-year stint, the end of that rookie contract, potentially open the pathway for a long-term change of pace back type deal. If it took a conditional pick to get Jordan Howard 1 year ago, someone that was a far more prolific rusher, it should take around the same to secure the services of Royce Freeman. And if it does take more than that, I think the Broncos may have minor needs at defensive back, if not short term, then definitely long term, and the Birds just so happen to have a plethora of versatile, young, hungry talent, and some of that may actually benefit from a change of scenery. This could be a deal that works out well for both sides and could be done very quickly, and it ticks every box the Eagles need. It's cheap, it's cheerful, and it is the exact type of runner the Birds need behind Miles Sanders. But what do you think of this move, guys? Let me know down in the comments below. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at Liam Jenkins PSN. Thank you so much for your support as always. We'll see you next time for another video here at Philly Sports Network.